Good evening, brethren. Welcome to Modern Working Tools. I have a Masonic profile for you this evening. I hope you enjoy it. We have here Most Worshipful Grand Master of 1896 to 1897, Owen Scott. I would like to give you a little background and profile on Brother Owen Scott. Owen Scott was born on the 6th of July, 1848, on a farm in Effingham County, Illinois, and remained a Central Illinois resident for the rest of his life, a teacher, attorney, and newspaperman. He served as a superintendent of schools for Effingham County from 1873 to 1881, published the Effingham Democrat and served as mayor of Effingham in 1882, and city attorney in 1883 and 84, after moving to Bloomington, Illinois. In 1884, he continued in the newspaper trade, publishing the Bloomington Daily and weekly bulletins. He was elected to Congress in 1890. He served one term and in 1899 moved to Decatur, Illinois, where he managed the Decatur Herald before going into the insurance business in 1904, from which he retired in 1921. His Masonic career. Most Worshipful Brother Owen Scott was initiated on December 17, 1870, passed on January 21, 1871, and raised on February 28, 1871, at Watson Lodge, number 602 in Watson, Illinois. He affiliated by demit to Effingham Lodge, number 149 in 1873, then by demit to Wade Barney Lodge, number 512 in 1885, and then by demit to Macon Lodge, number 8 in Decatur in 1903. He remained a member of Macon Lodge for the rest of his life. He was elected Junior Grand Warden in 1889 and Grand Master in 1895. After his time in the Grand East, he continued to serve the Grand Lodge on several committees before being elected Grand Secretary in 1921. He died in office on December 21st, 1928, having attended 51 consecutive Grand Communications. To this day, I think that might be a record, if I'm not mistaken. This information was provided by Right Worshipful Brother Michael H. Shirley. Thank you for that profile, Most Worshipful Brother Owen. I was looking through some Grand Lodge proceedings books, and on an annual communication, I did find a speech that Brother Owen gave, and it was an excellent piece that I felt is worthy of a Masonic profile. So I would like to share with you the Grand Master's address. So let me start by reading what I transcribed here. In compliance with the provisions of the constitutions and bylaws of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of ancient, free, and accepted Masons of the state of Illinois, the 58th Annual Grand Communications was held at Columbia Theater in the city of Chicago, commencing on Tuesday the 5th day of October, AD 1897, AL 5897, at 10 o'clock a.m. And the Grand Master's address reads as follows. Brethren of the Grand Lodge, in the archives of memory have been safely deposited the stirring Masonic events of another year. For his loving care and tender mercies, we are profoundly grateful to our Heavenly Father, from out whose hand the centuries fall like grains of sand. Another chapter of Masonic history has been written. What it really embraces cannot be told. Its glories are not those of war and carnage, but of love and goodwill. Peace hath higher tests of manhood than battle ever knew. The fevered brow has been cooled by the touch of a brother's hand, the orphan's cry for bread hushed by bounteous supplies from the fraternal store, and the widow's sorrow assuaged by the kind and loving sympathies of the mystic craft. These are but the briefest outline of the noble and generous deeds which constitute the ripened fruits of Freemasonry. But we must not remain content with what has been done. Although our past achievements we with honest pride review, as long as there's rough ashlar, there is work for us to do. We still must shape the living stones with instruments of love, for that eternal mansion in the paradise above. Toil as we've toiled in ages past to carry out the plan. 'Tis this, the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man. With such a creed, Masons cannot fail to achieve the great purposes of life. The battle will be fought and the victory won. Masonry looks to a nobler manhood. It teaches abstract truth, but uses this only as a foundation for practical living. The home is the unit of civilization. Its absence makes barbarism. The home is the flower, of which heaven is the fruit. Masonry throws us its mighty arms around the vital institution of civilized life and protects and exalts it. The purity of womanhood and the exaltation of childhood are cardinal doctrines taught in every lodge. Our mothers, wives, sisters, and daughters have one more sworn defender in every man who rises from the altar of Masonry. Other practical life duties are equally the certain fruit of the teachings and obligations of our great institution. Conduct and character can be uplifted if Masons loyally live the lessons learned in the lodge room. We are here from all parts of our mighty state to contemplate the past and plan for the future. The year just added to those gone before has been filled with trials and difficulties, victories and defeats. Our failures, if we wisely view them, will serve as red lights of warning for the future. Let us then contemplate our work and gather new strength, that we may do the right as God gives us to see the right. Now, that was a lovely speech from Most Worshipful Brother Owen Scott. And here we have a photo that was taken before he laid down his working tools in 1928. Thank you so much, Brother Owen Scott, for the gems of wisdom you provided to us this evening. I hope you have enjoyed this Masonic profile. I'm Brother Justice signing off. Until next time, peace be with you. Masonic Profiles, Notable Freemasons from Illinois and Elsewhere,